Hi, everyone. My name is Laura. I'm the founder of Laura Ray Consulting, and I have my super good friend here, Cari Volmer. Today, we are going to be talking about and demystifying the one-size-fits-all marketing culture that we live in. And ultimately, we want to speak to those purpose-driven solopreneurs who just feel in their intuition and their gut that they need to do this differently. So I help solopreneurs attract higher quality leads and clients. That's what I'm all about. And I help you find unique to you marketing strategies that will actually help you amplify those results that you've been looking for forever. Now, introducing Cari, again, she's a good friend of mine. I've known her for so long. It's been almost,
Yeah, we have been cohorts for a long, long time.
yes, 100%.
What would we do without each other, Laura?
Yes. Core piece of advice, find yourself a business best friend, right? Cari
Absolutely.
happens to be mine. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help solopreneurs.
Yeah. So, as you know, I've been a coach for over 24 years. I can't believe it. And then you and I have that shared history and conversion marketing where we work side by side for over 8 years together. But I always knew in my bones that I was going to come back and do my work. And that is to help my clients get really, really clear on what makes them different from everybody else who does what they do. So I help them unlock their brilliance, get really clear on who their ideal client and what their brand essence is. So over the years as a coach, I just found it being one of the biggest missing pieces business owners faced. And that is, we want to grow these businesses and we're investing in all of these programs that I know you and I are going to be diving into, talking a little bit more about. But at the end of the day, you've got to bring yourself first to the table and build everything around that. And when you do, you're going to start standing out, rise above the noise, and really be seen as the expert you are. So I'm all about the clarity. You're all about the amplification. I think we make a great team.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
Cari has spoken into my business so many times, and I can just speak to the clarity that she brings. It is truly her brilliance and gifting, and I'm so glad to have her in my corner. Let me tell you that.
Mhm.
So when it comes down to it, we are truly inundated with these one-size-fits-all marketing industries. There's so many marketing gurus out there at this point that it's very hard to decipher the strategies that are for you. And that's why we wanted to have this conversation in the first place, because we know that you're unique and we know that you have a special brilliance and we know that you have special skills that can be leveraged in your marketing strategy. And
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like such a push and a pull for the solopreneurs that we talk to, when I think, in fact, sometimes that push and pull is is our intuition saying this is not the right fit for me.
Because if it were the right fit, things would start falling into place and you'd feel very natural doing it and you'd really find your unique path forward. One of the most painful places to be as a business owner is to take your business so seriously, right? Like this is your dream. You want to self-express in this way. You know it's in your bones to be a business owner. You want to help people and you're really serious about building a successful business. And then you invest in yourself because you know you've got to invest in yourself. And then your growth isn't happening. The courses and the programs that are promising 6 figures, 7 figures, and all of this stuff, you really stop and wonder, well, maybe I'm not meant for this. And that's such a shame because this is something you and I have talked about before, but those moments are when we have to stop and remember that that program is probably a wonderful, legit program for some, but it was created by a coach who created it or an expert who created it based on their own brilliance. And you're trying to fit into a box, and that box maybe was never meant for you. And I know your work as an amplifier in everything that you do is really to take a business owner back and have them look at like, what is the best path forward for you to get more leads and more clients in your business, just based on who you are naturally,
Yeah,
because they're not going to do it like your other clients do it. You have a unique approach with everybody you work with as
100%.
well.
Yep, 100%. I mean, when it comes down to it, I always state I don't believe in one size fits all strategies
Mhm.
because I've seen how detrimental that can be to the person who is kind of in that push and pull situation and ready to give up on their dream and on their purpose. And as solopreneurs ourselves, we know how difficult it can get when we are doing it all on our own.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really what drives the two of us to build the businesses that we're building because we want to see more solopreneurs find success and get the results that they're seeking. And sometimes that means we have to step out of these guru buckets that are so tempting.
They're so tempting.
So tempting because it makes it seem easy.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I want to stand on is that marketing, it's not going to be easy per se, but I do think that we can simplify it where it doesn't feel so overwhelming.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. There's work. There's always going to be work involved, and we need to know how to zig and zag within our path so we can keep moving forward. There'll come times where we want to try different strategies just for the experiment of it, right? But we need to know what we need to return to as well. And that's part of that simplification process. So we're not literally, I use this analogy all the time. It's so overused everywhere, but it's so much better than throwing spaghetti at the wall all the time, hoping something sticks.
Yeah,
That isn't a strategy. That is like a hope and a prayer, like, please let this be the
yeah,
thing. When you can really base it much more on a deep base of clarity, an understanding of what in marketing is a great fit for you and what you can literally leave aside because it just isn't going to be your thing. There's
right.
so much freedom in that too, isn't there, Laura? Where we just say, you know what, that platform isn't for me. It wouldn't align with my brilliance. It's just not something I'm interested in. And to me, that speaks to a lot of freedom that you can create for yourself as a business owner by
Yeah,
just knowing what to say no thank you to.
yeah. Okay, so
Hey, red flags.
yeah, so in this video, we really want to highlight different red flags that we see in the
Yep.
industry, things to watch out for, because it's so easy to get pulled in by those marketing tactics. There
Oh,
are
yeah.
marketing tactics at play right now. And so we want to equip you with some of that knowledge so that you can really discern what is for you and what is not for you. And we want to kind of cover some of our concerns about these things. And then we want to kind of just point you in the right direction. What do we do then? If all we're seeing is these one size fits all strategies, how do we pivot from there? What do we do? And that's how we'll kind of wrap up
Yeah.
today's session. So, Cari, I'm going to let you start us off with kind of a number one red flag that you see.
Well, I think because so many business owners are now, everyone's on social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever it is. And you've got these experts selling their courses and ways and methods to leverage those tools. I think it's good to educate ourselves how it works, what we can expect from it. Where I start seeing red flags is that things like on social media, how I went viral in 6 weeks and got to 100,000 followers, or anything viral, I get a big red flag for because they're playing into a sales psychology of all I want to do is be recognized. I want to be recognized. And we all have that in us that we want to be seen for the effort we're putting out. but you can go viral all day long. In fact, one person I follow talks about how she went viral and got like 200,000 follows or something like overnight, but not one sale from it. Viral
Mm.
does not equal sales. So it really, you have to really use your discernment and be really clear and be also really understand that part of the social media game is that you've got to stick with it. It's a long-term strategy. It's not an overnight success strategy. There is no overnight success strategy. Every once in a while, you'll meet somebody who hit it at the right time and place. That does not mean that's going to occur for every single person who tries that same thing. It
You'll
probably worked for that person because they trusted their instincts to take a particular action,
right.
and that's why it works so well for them. We're going to talk about instincts in a little bit because something we're both really passionate about. So, yeah, so on social media, be really discerning about who you follow. Follow the people who have really solid strategies and don't promise you the sun, moon, and sky as a result of doing that. Just speak truth over what you can expect.
In that virality notion, I think there's also the folks who say, you can make $100,000 in days or, things like that. And when it comes down to it, the reason why they're finding that success is because they built a system, an automated system for their business. But that doesn't necessarily mean that their system is the best system for you. And so that's why I really strongly believe in unique to you solutions and systems. I believe in automation. Don't get me wrong. I
Absolutely.
100% believe in automation. I believe in the power of a good funnel, but just because that funnel is working for them, it does not mean it is going to be the perfect secret sauce for your business. So we have to be discerning, and if a coach or a guru is promoting something and not actually discussing with you your unique business,
Mhm.
to be honest, I see that a little bit as a red flag too. Tell me if you disagree. But to me, I do see the power in listening to a unique story or listening to a unique business perspective before implementing or strategizing. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yes, yes. Because I think sometimes what some of these programs fail to do is give the backstory.
Mhm.
We want to know, or we should want to know, and we should hold our experts a little bit more accountable to this, I think, of I know that this Pinterest strategy made you $25 million, and that's amazing. And there's a whole backstory. How long have you been at it? Did you strike at just the right time to start leveraging Pinterest? Is it as easy for people to do that today? How do you know it's as easy as it was for you? I have all sorts of questions about that. And these are questions that we should all be asking ourselves on social media as well. What is the timeline for my expected growth? What do you base that on? Is it based on just what you're hoping it could be? And you're like, well, anything could happen. No, as a business owner, I want a much more realistic picture than that, because if that's not going to be the thing that's really going to get me the conversion I'm looking for sooner rather than later, then I need another strategy as well that can help fill that gap in that time frame. But we don't always ask those questions, and that's as much on us. I will say the slick marketing makes it hard.
Yeah.
So it's really a combination of slick marketing as well as not asking all the questions we need to be asking to really know for sure if that's a strategy that's going to actually pay off in our business based on our own personal goals. We have
Mhm.
to take that into account.
Yeah, I agree with that. So pivoting a little bit, our background is in lead generation, in landing pages, in funnels.
Our combined history
Yeah.
together, right?
Yep. Almost a decade, which is crazy
Mhm.
to me.
Crazy. We collectively, we have helped well over how many clients?
at least 20,000 interactions with solopreneurs,
Yeah, at least.
small business owners over that decade. Over 5,000 of those were specifically
Hmm.
like me coaching and optimizing marketing campaigns and really trying to find those unique solutions for business owners. And I'm sure those numbers are pretty much the same with you because we worked like
We were truly side by side, like
very
we were just connected. And both of us each have over 1,000 marketing audits under our belt. Each of us have that. So when we're talking landing pages, we know what we're talking about. I guess it's
100%.
like, and we have seen everything. We've seen what works consistently, and we've seen people completely break the rules and have it work extremely well. So this is just, kind of that, to put a little oomph behind the message here, because just when you think it's like, boy, this is going to be the answer, you will have somebody come in and break every rule there is
Mm.
and do so extremely well. You sit and scratch your head when you're looking at their actual numbers in analytics, which we've both done. And we go, how is this even possible? And yet it's right there in black and white.
There's definitely been times where I've designed beautiful, beautiful landing pages. But then
Yeah.
when we scale back the design and just have a white background, for example, it performs significantly better. It doesn't
Mhm,
happen all the time. Like sometimes the pretty landing pages, if your audience cares about that, yeah, they're going to perform better. But just like I tell you all the time, Cari, like there will be people who will come to me and ask me, should I do it this way or that way? It's like, well, test it. You need to test.
mhm. And testing is an okay thing, and it can actually get to be really fun
Yeah.
when you understand how quickly you can pivot within those tests. It doesn't have to be. I remember back in the day in my business, my gosh, if something didn't work, it would take me weeks to get going again. I think one of the most positive changes I've made as a business owner is just like, oh, well, it didn't work. What's next? It's not, does not mean I'm not cut out for what I'm doing. It's literally just like what needs to be tweaked here to get it to work.
Yeah.
Right.
in the in the realm of this one size fits all marketing culture that we're in, kind of bringing it back to that, I think it's very easy for us to try it the one size fits all way, and when it doesn't work, we give up on the idea. And
Mhm,
I know that the both of us, our positioning is that when something doesn't work, we pivot and we pivot quickly. Um,
mhm,
and that the power of A/B split testing really helps that process because you can make very quick changes to a landing page specifically. And you can see with analytics how you need to pivot. For those who are not familiar with some of these terms that we're using, I want to be mindful of that. So when we're talking about funnels, it is really kind of a collection of offers that are tied to one another that actually get people to take action with you with what you're selling.
mhm,
And so when we're talking about landing pages, each of those offers has a landing page. And then A/B split testing is a mechanism that helps you drive traffic to more than one variation of a page.
mhm.
So I hope that that clarifies for anybody who may not know those terms.
And I think if you're a newer business owner, it's something you don't need to instantly dive into and be like, I'm going to start split testing all of my pages. Like it could just be just start with one great offer for maybe a free lead magnet or something. By the way, lead magnets are not dead. We want to say that, right? Another red flag. Oh, I have to go back to the red
Yep,
flags for a second
good.
because this is a good one. When you see some of the marketing, like last year, there was something, somebody was selling something. I don't even know exactly what they were selling, but everyone was talking about it, which was the point of the campaign. And it said lead magnets are dead. Or how many customers did you have come to you and be like, well, they don't work anymore. They're just not working. This is what I'm hearing. They don't work.
False.
And you're like, well, what are you basing that on? One campaign somebody put out there with a really bold statement for one reason only to get eyes on their offer, and suddenly lead magnets are dead. When in fact, I during that time I was doing running ad traffic to a lead magnet and I was getting like a 63% conversion rate on it. I'm not thinking lead magnets are dead. I think they're working really, really well, right? So that's another one of those things to watch for when people speak in absolutes as if they have the crystal ball and their finger on the pulse of everything in marketing. I'd probably skedaddle, but that's just me. I'd probably be like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not telling it. We're gonna
Same.
need to see more of this story here.
Yeah. It's kind of the same language with SEO.
Mhm.
Everybody's like AI, AI, AI everything. And so there's a lot of folks saying that SEO is dead. When in fact, SEO is truly more important than ever because AI optimization uses a lot of the same tactics as SEO. Um, so it's certainly not dead. So yeah, I would agree. Stay away from the absolutes because we have seen time and time again those absolutes being proven wrong. So that's where we have to come back to. We need to look at your business because
Yeah,
it's unique to itself.
yeah. So to kind of go back and say, because if you're just at this point in the conversation, you might be like, then what's the answer? Because I need to learn all of these different things. Yes, you do. It's part of being a responsible business owner, but do so from a foundation of really understanding your uniqueness, how to differentiate yourself, your brilliance, what your vision and goals are for your business, and then look at your marketing as a way to express that to get you towards those goals. And that will really help you simplify your marketing in a way that will take so much of the guesswork out of you. Will not have to throw spaghetti at the wall. You will get to focus on the one, two, or three things that are going to get you there through consistency, through all of these things we've been talking about, and you really can just take the pressure off because it's like, okay, I know who I am. I know what I offer. I know how good it is. This is my marketing approach to getting there. I know this works because I know through my analytics, I can see it growing and working. It's simple, right? Just to sum it up was even simple to sum that up. Doesn't require a big whiteboard and a flow chart and all of the things to explain it. It's simple, not always easy, as they say. So you get support.
Right. Which
Mhm.
is honestly kind of where it's the heart behind both of our businesses, truly. For you, it's that clarity piece. For me, it's simplifying and helping that solopreneur feel less overwhelmed by the process, helping them connect the dots. And then once those dots are actually connected and we've got something to test and we've got a strategy thought out, it's that amplification. But I can definitely stress the importance of having that clarity first because having the clarity around who you're serving, why you want to serve them, who you are, your unique things. Like, I remember having a conversation with you, Cari. This was maybe a couple years ago now, where you were like, Laura, you're trying to operate as a generator. You're trying to produce so much content and so much things. Like, at the core of who you are a projector. You need time to rest for your brain to
Right. Yes.
function.
We were talking about Laura's human design at the time, and just to really help us understand, just like, how does our energy naturally work? How does that naturally play a role in our business? Because it will determine what kind of offers you should be building.
I will say, once I went full time in my business, your wisdom that you shared before absolutely impacted how I run. It's I'm gonna actually wait to start my day until 9 or 10 a.m. because I know that I need to go to the gym and work out in order
Mhm.
to have a more successful day
Yeah,
or just like learning how to accept the fact that I may need some downtime during the day to just rejuvenate to be able to serve well. And
right.
giving myself permission to do that, game
Mhm.
changer. And while that may not be specifically marketing related, I think it still super ties into how we run and operate in our
It's
businesses.
absolutely, absolutely. And why for somebody, if we just take it back to like the human of your own personal human design, and of course your brilliance is it's so much deeper than even that energy type, right?
Yeah.
But even for, let's say you're a generator, you only want to do things that light you up. It's not about you have a nonstop battery that will just go, 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 but that doesn't mean you're meant to do every single thing or that you should. You're meant to do only those things that light you up, that call you.
Yeah.
For you and I, we're projectors to hone in on something and make something of it to go really deep into something is supernatural for us with a lot of built-in rest time because you and I don't function really well if we're just going because so much of our wisdom and our business instincts come when we've allowed ourselves to be quiet, when
Mhm.
we've allowed ourselves to pull back, start our days at 9:30 or 10 a.m. and uh vary our hours to suit us. Like that's just some of the stuff that when
Yeah.
you know that about who you are, it makes all the difference in your experience as a business owner. And
Yeah.
we haven't even gotten to the really juicy stuff yet about like that magical thing that you bring to your clients that they just can't get enough of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were going to kind of end on a note of what do we do then? So we've got all of these one size fits all approaches. What what are some things that we can do to just pause for a moment
Mhm.
before we jump into everything? What are some things that have worked for you to keep you out of the busyness of it all?
I think for me, I do lean on my intuition, and I know that some people kind of cringe when they hear that. But I do. I really try to use discernment when it comes to my investments. There have been so many different strategies presented to me, but I take time to make those decisions. I don't just because, and I think it's a little bit because I'm a marketer myself. I know the tactics, I know the language, I know the urgency. And so I think a little bit, I would suggest for the average solopreneur, it, fill the knowledge gap of what are some of those strategies, those tactics that people are using to get you to take action right away. And just being able to, from a bird's eye view, find those so that you're not falling into a manipulation trap. You are actually making a wise choice in the solutions that you are paying for. I think that there's lots of ways for you to discern if something is the right fit for you or not. But I think that there is a gut thing for me that happens.
Yeah.
My gut tells me if something is really not for me, and I trust that.
Yeah.
And I think the people that I have invested in, the business coaches, I've invested in copywriting classes with Alex Catani, for example. And I think because I did a little bit of deeper research before purchasing their programs, it resulted in no regrets. I was able to know confidently that what I was going to get was 100 times more valuable than what they were selling it for.
Right.
That
Right.
happened with Nicole Walters at the time that I signed up for her business package. It happened with Alex Catani when I signed up for her copywriting courses.
Mhm.
And honestly, a big part of that was doing a little bit more research, digging a little deeper.
Trusting yourself enough to know this is going to be a really good fit for me and fill a gap I have. And it's a good match for personality match. And I know I'm going to get something. I just want to be in their sphere of influence anyways, but I want to learn from them more up close and personally as well. You're really, really good at taking your time. You're really good at it. You will be like, I'm just not feeling it yet. And you have no problem not rushing. You cannot rush, Laura.
No, I am the due diligence queen over here.
Yeah, you are going to be like, it's like, yeah, nope, nope, I don't really feel it yet. And then the day you do, it's like, boom, we're off. Unless you know instantly, like sometimes you just know, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I would say for me, exactly the same thing. I trust my instincts in everything. If I get a good vibe about something, I'm going to be like, that's the first thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to start paying attention to that. I'm going to start listening. I'm going to start paying a little closer attention. Is it still speaking to me? Can I discern what it will give me that I really need in my own business and life right now? Is it going to be worth that investment to me? Because I can tell you, back in the day, I was much more easily influenced. So the gift on the other side of it is like, oh, I no, no, it's not the way to do it. And I feel so passionate about helping others avoid that trap because it's just a lot of money down the drain when you're not sure
Mhm.
and when you don't take that time. Now, the other thing I and I know you do this too, is that I base all of my decisions on my own brilliance. This is what I'm great at. This is my message. This is the work I'm here to do. What will be the best vehicles for me to get that out to the world? And I know for me, I need to use my voice. I need to show up in a particular way because I know through experience, it's where I resonate the most powerfully, where people can actually feel what I
Yeah.
bring to the table. For you, Laura, you jump on one call with somebody, they're going to feel your heart and soul and warmth so quickly. Your sincerity, you know that that is just part of, you need to build that into every offer
Yeah.
you have, but to know that about yourself gives you so much more confidence. And then saying, okay, now I know what I need to create here to be able to give myself those opportunities, because then I know I'm going to start growing my business as a result of that.
I think the power of getting a second opinion too is
Mhm.
a big one. Transparently, you guys, I will message Cari for making big purchase. Truly, she knows business lore probably better than anyone else. And so I know that I can just trust her in that way. But the power of a second opinion is huge because if you have somebody in your life who can see you for who you are and they understand the goal and they can help you with that discernment process, it can just help you feel even more confident in that decision.
It's the business bestie thing of really surrounding yourself with really, really good people. And I do that same with you. Like if I'm mulling over something, Laura and I podcast each other all day long, leave each other sometimes extremely long audios as we're sorting through things and we know that we'll have each other's back. You made a really good point about something that I wanted to comment on. Shoot, I think I just went bloop. Oh, the urgency. Like, so we stay out of that urgency. There is a tactic in marketing that everyone should just be really aware of. There is a strategy to create urgency. And sometimes there's bonuses that connected to it. And extra things you get. And that's okay. That's an okay strategy. But
Yeah.
as the consumer, it's your responsibility to still pause and check with yourself. I'd let go of a bonus all day long if I needed a couple more days to actually know if this was the right fit for me or not. So be really careful about tactics like that because they will make you so hungry to jump into that. And if it is the right fit for you and you know it immediately, go for it. Get all the bonuses, get all the savings and whatever it is. But, as Oprah used to say, doubt means don't. If you have any doubts, just take a pause and then go back and go, well, you know what? I know I'm still going to get a ton out of it, but I'm really glad I gave myself that moment to really know for sure it's all going to work out great in the end anyways. All right. So we're kind of at our time limit. This has been so fun. It goes so fast when you and I start.
It really does. And I hope that you guys took a lot from this conversation. Truly, like I said, this is the heart behind the businesses that we're building, helping you gain clarity into your brilliance so that you can make wiser choices and better business decisions, like targeting the right people and getting an understanding of all of those components so that you can then take it to the next level and build out a unique to you strategy that is designed around you and your business. So, Cari, tell the people where they can find you, how you can help them more.
Mhm.
Excited.
Yeah, so I know that we're going to have links under the video, but the best way to get started with me, if as we're talking about clarity here and really honing in on your brilliance, that thing that differentiates you from everybody else, that magical quality you have where your clients are like, I could work with you for the next 10 years and never get tired of us because it's exactly what you're bringing to the table. I offer a brilliance to brand attraction reading where we take a deep dive into your brilliance, your ideal client, and your brand essence. When I take people through this, it's usually comments like, oh my God, wow. Like I didn't even, like I knew that, but I didn't know. I never had anyone reflect that back to me. I'm the mirror that will reflect back to you what I pick up in my own intuition. And then through the different clarity tools I offer, we're really able to hone in and get a really, really beautifully clear picture. So then when you are ready to amplify that, you just know this is what I'm bringing to the table. It takes all the guesswork out of it. Then you can go to somebody like Laura, who's like, let's create something beautiful out of this. Right.
Yeah.
So I talk a little bit about a great way to get started with you.
Yeah. Like Cari said, once you have that clarity, it's now time to build a unique to you strategy, something that's going to work for you in your business and actually get you higher quality leads and clients.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I do a lot of things. I'm a funnel builder. I'm an optimizer. I do help you amplify results of the current campaigns you're running. That being said, for those of you who are at the very beginning, I also do coaching where I can help you figure out that strategy and show you how to put those puzzle pieces together so that you have a strong foundation. I think that's what a lot of solopreneurs are lacking is a strong foundation and just basic marketing principles. And because we're listening to all of these one size fits all solutions, it ends up being very overwhelming. And
Yeah.
that's where I come in and really try to simplify it for you in your unique business. I am going to be putting a link down in the caption. I have a wait list for a membership that can help you get the marketing support that you need. So I would encourage you to start there with me. I'm super excited for what I'm building out there. I think it's going to really, really, really help solopreneurs just like you. And if you want to work with me, I have plenty of other opportunities to audit your current existing campaigns or, just have a little introduction call. I'd love to meet you and just have a chat with you. So all of those links will be below.
And they can also find us on Instagram. So for me, Coach with Cari at Cari, but Coach with Cari, and you're at Laura Ray Consulting. So you can DM us too and just start a chat there. We love to talk to our people.
Yeah, no chat bots in our businesses. I think we are very human to human.
So we're very human
Authentic
to you.
humans.
Yeah.
It was great to have this chat with you, Cari. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and just experience. And I look forward to our next chat because this will definitely be happening again.
Oh, I know for sure. Without question, girl. All
All
right.
right,
Bye, everyone.
bye.